Well, it was a 3-0 win in the end here for Arsenal. Doesn't do a huge amount for them. They started the day 6th. They'll probably finish the season 6th. Does that sum up Arsenal, though, that attacking-wise they can be devastating, but at the back they'll always give you a chance?
Yeah, I think pretty much that was the tale of the tape this afternoon. Ozil was fantastic at times, and Mkhitaryan looks like he's really adding a bit of intensity about his game. So going forward, yes, Aubameyang, we've seen that quality before, haven't we, throughout the years with Borussia Dortmund, and he looked fantastic. But you're right, it's just that quality at the back, that decision-making. Xhaka in midfield was giving away countless free kicks unnecessarily, putting extra pressure onto his defensive unit. And we know when you put them under pressure, they can't cope.
The one noticeable thing here today, maybe the bigger issue long-term for Arsene Wenger, was the amount of empty seats. They say there was 59,000 tickets sold, which actually makes it worse because I would say there was 15,000, 16,000 empty seats. Like there was against Manchester City, the weather was a whole lot better today. People are simply fed up around here.
Yeah, I think, and I don't think they have a voice now. I think that's probably the only way they can do it, show their displeasure, is literally by not coming. We've had it so often now that they've made it known to the hierarchy, but they've just been ignored. And people talk about respect, that Arsene Wenger should be shown it. I think the Arsenal fans should be as well. This is the most expensive ticket in European football in terms of season ticket for Arsenal, and they've not been getting what they've been used to in terms of that first decade with Arsene Wenger. But certainly an empty stadium like that, I think the message was got across today.
You were at Old Trafford yesterday for the big game of the weekend. Manchester United, a 2-1 win against Liverpool. It was intense. What did you take from it?
It was fantastic. It was everything you hoped it would be in terms of the build up to it, the biggest game in English football, and it proved that way. Tactically, it was fascinating to watch. It's no surprise that Jose Mourinho put on a masterclass again, snuffed out Liverpool's offensive threat, and he did it with a 4-4-2, as basic as that. McTominay is a young central midfielder. Lots been made about Paul Pogba, but you can probably see why McTominay gets in the team. He's efficient, he's effective, and alongside Matic, they were brilliant, denying any balls getting into Firmino, who's been in brilliant form. And although it went to 2-1 and Bailly made that mistake, I didn't ever feel that like Liverpool were going to get back into that game.
How did they keep Salah quiet?
Well, Ashley Young was fantastic. He's a left back, well, he's a left winger by trade, but he's a left back right footed player. So anytime Salah looked to come inside, he was coming into Ashley Young's strong right foot. Also, what they did so well is the midfielders were there to collect him. The centre halves were narrow and there was just no space. There was certainly no space in behind. Manchester United defended literally on the 18-yard box. And at the beginning of the game, it looked like Manchester United were the away team. And that's not the norm. That's not normally what you associate with United, and it's certainly not what their fans expect. But I think they would be delighted with their team's performance.
It wasn't quite the calamity of Wembley for Dejan Lovren, but he was bullied by Romelu Lukaku. And Romelu Lukaku has many good aspects of his game, but we generally don't see him bully centre-backs. Does this have to be the end for Lovren at Liverpool? Maybe not right now, but at the end of the season, does Jurgen Klopp really need to be thinking, we can't be coming back time and time again, making the same old mistakes?
Well, it's so basic. That was the concern, is that Route 1 football just found Liverpool out. And he talked about that initially when he came in, when he talked about West Brom got a result, and he said at the time, we can't be beaten by this type of football. Well, it's still continuing. And I couldn't believe that he actually got the nod ahead of Matip and even young Joe Gomez. When is he going to give him an opportunity at centre-half alongside Van Dijk? Because he excelled for England in 2 big high-profile games at centre-half, so he has to change it. But Lovren, in terms of just using common sense as a centre-half and not letting pride get in the way, you've got to get your midfielder to screen in front of you and let him get in a battle with Lukaku. You then drop off and you can pick up the flight. He didn't do any of that, and unfortunately, as a result, Alexander-Arnold showed his naivety at full-back by not dropping and expecting his centre-half to lose it, and Liverpool got punished.
Enough for both sides to finish in the top 4, and does it change? You're convinced both sides will finish in the top 4, that there's no way Chelsea can catch Liverpool?
No, listen, those 2 teams are in the top 4 without a shadow of doubt. If Chelsea are going to catch anyone, it's Tottenham. It'd be interesting to see Tottenham's response in terms of going out of the Champions League, whether or not they can get their season back on track, finish strongly.
A reality check for Liverpool in terms of Europe?
I think so. I think, as we quite rightly said, that might be a template now to beat Liverpool, defend deep. It's easier said than done. You've got to execute it, and they've done it brilliantly well. We talked about Bailly coming back to play for United, hadn't played for a couple of months, looked strong. I know he gave away the own goal, but he was so physically demanding, they couldn't get past him. But this will be the accusation aimed at Jurgen Klopp now. That plan A is sensational, it comes off. But what is the plan B when they get frustrated like they did yesterday?
Yeah, we shall find out. Plenty more big games to come and off the ball between now and the end of the season.